solving a linear equation, variables on the same side. All right, so you're probably in the middle of solving a lot of equations. You're probably going through a lot of topics that kind of look similar, and that is the point. There are a lot of topics that look really similar, and it's all just building up to being able to solve whatever equation you want to solve. So here I have 23 equals negative 8y minus 7 plus 2y. When I have an equation where there are variables in two different places, you want to combine them together. In the case where they're on the same side, you can combine them together just the same way that you've been combining all along. It looks a little weird because these two are separated, but if you see a negative 8y and a plus 2y, you could pretend they're right next to each other. You don't have to write them next to each other, but you can assume that the effect would be the same if they were written right next to each other or if they were written separated by a negative 7, for instance. So I'm going to draw, I like to call it a wall, to separate both sides of my equal. I'm going to combine together negative 8y plus 2y, which will give me negative 6y. So I have 23, it comes down, and I'm going to put my negative 6y here, minus 7. Not minus 7, just comes straight down. Now you might be asking me, well, why did it go first? Why didn't it go second? You would have the same result if you wrote it like this. So if you want to write it like this instead, it'll be exactly the same. The most important thing is that the sign in front of it stays the same. So there's a negative in front of the 7 and there's a negative in front of the 6y. From here, I want to get that 6y by itself. So I'm going to add 7 to both sides. That will cancel these 7's out. 23 plus 7 is going to give me 30, equal to negative 6y. To get y by itself, I am dividing both sides by negative 6. So 30 divided by negative 6 is negative 5, equal to y. Oh, let me just write that those cancel. So our answer is y equals negative 5. Now, to check our answer, we can plug our y value back into the original equation to see if we get a true statement. I'm going to go ahead and do that this first time, but I won't do it in the other problems. So plugging that in, we have 23 equals negative 8 times negative 5 minus 7 plus 2 times negative 5. You could plug this right-hand side into your calculator and it would be really fast, but if you're doing it by hand, negative 8 times negative 5 is 40 minus 7, and then plus negative 10 is the same as minus 10. So plus and negative is the same as just doing subtraction. 23 equals 40 minus 7 is going to give us 33, minus 10 is 23. So 23 equals 23, good as gold, so that means that our answer is indeed correct. Let's go ahead and do another example. 2v plus 54 plus 4v equals 6. Same idea as the last one. We have like terms here. So 2v plus 4v is going to give us 6v. Let me draw my little line. So I'm going to do 6v plus 54. So I'm combining my like terms first, and the 54 just drops straight down, is equal to 6. I want to get this 6v by itself completely. So I'm going to take care of the 54 by subtracting it on both sides. That will cancel out over here. So on your calculator, you can go ahead and do 6 minus 54. It's going to give you negative 48. So 6v equals negative 48. To get the v by itself, we're going to divide both sides by 6 to cancel the 6's. We get v equals negative 48 divided by 6 will give you negative 8. So v equals negative 8 is our answer here. All right, let's do one more example. Here we have 19 equals negative 8y minus 4y minus 17. I'm going to go ahead and draw my wall here. I'm going to start by combining together my like terms. So negative 8 minus 4 will give me negative 12. So this will be negative 12y. And then the minus 17 will come down. Then there's an equal sign, and 19 is over here. If it bothers you to have your y's on the right-hand side instead of the left-hand side, you could have started this problem by rewriting it with the sides flippy-flopped. So this would be the same answer. You'd get the same answer if you flippy-flopped them in the very beginning or at any point in time. Now I want to get this negative 12y by itself, so I want to get rid of the negative 17. He's the party crasher. So I'm going to add 17 to both sides here. That's going to give me 36. Let's check my calculator. Okay, just had a moment of doubt. 36 is equal to negative 12y. And to get y by itself now, you're dividing by that coefficient, so negative 12 on both sides. That's why I like to put my wall there, so that you can see where each side is, and you make sure to do the same thing on both sides. 36 divided by negative 12 is going to be negative 3 equal to y. So that's the same as saying y equals negative 3. So make sure you combine together your like terms, solve for your variable, you're going to be good. You totally got this. Keep believing in yourself and keep doing what you're doing.